everybody. Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another story. And I've got a story tonight about Two Little Red Mittens. Do you know what a mitten is? Kind of like a glove that you put on your hands to keep warm when you go outside and it's cold. Well, this story is called Two Little Red Mittens. This is a story about a little girl who has two little red mittens, and she wears them every day, and she plays in the snow, and she does everything with them. But one of them gets lost, and we need to find out what happens when one of these red mittens gets lost. Are you ready to get inside this book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. Two Little Red Mittens. Story by Kirin Hayashi. Pictures by Chikiri Okada. Two little red mittens, left and right. They always went out as a pair, wrapping little one's hands in their fluffy warmth. When little one pressed and pressed the pure white snow into snowballs, the mittens helped. The first time little one made a snowman, the mittens helped. She's wearing beautiful red mittens. Every night, drying out by the wood stove, the two mittens promised each other, "Let's keep those tiny fingers toasty and warm tomorrow." And the next day, and the next, the mittens liked keeping the girls' hands warm. One day, little one lost the right mitten. A fox crossing the road spotted it. A human child must have dropped this," he said. He gently hung it on a branch for the owner to find. That was nice of the fox. But the right mitten was not by the wood stove that night. Only the left mitten made it home. It was terribly lonely. Overnight, a blizzard howled and blew snow all around. The right mitten got knocked off the branch and fell beneath a tree. Just as it was about to be buried in the snow, a passing mother rabbit scooped it up and carried it into the forest. The next day, as soon as little one woke up, she searched high and low for the lost right mitten, but it was nowhere to be seen. Little one went back and forth over yesterday's path, and even looked beneath her favorite fir tree, but the mitten was gone. Little one got her mother to help and searched again, but it was no use. So little one's mother knitted her a new right mitten. They couldn't find it, so now her mom's going to make a new one. At the same time, the mother rabbit was enjoying a cup of hot tea. It was her favorite kind, made from the many dandelions she had picked in the spring. The mitten made the perfect tea cozy. The mother's twin children came bouncing in. "Mommy, what is that fluffy red thing?" "Is that a hat?" The bunnies drew closer together, cheek to cheek, and pulled the mitten over both their heads at once. "Oh, how warm! It even covers my ears all the way. It's so soft on my forehead." The bunnies realized the mitten made a perfect nightcap. Some nights, as the twins were having sweet dreams, the right mitten would lie awake thinking of the left mitten. What is that mitten up to these days? The left mitten had always been there, even at night. The dear friend had been there. The right mitten really misses the left mitten. One day, 3 little mice came over to play. When the bunnies showed them their downy red hat, the mice instantly wanted it for themselves. They begged, and they wouldn't let go. Soon everyone was tugging and yanking. "Stop! Don't pull! It'll rip!" At this rate, the mitten would tear in half. The twin bunnies decided to let go, and they gave the mitten away. Oh no, the mice came and took the mitten. The mice hoisted the mitten onto their shoulders and set off for home. When they put their heads together to wear the hat like the bunnies, it slid right down over their bodies. How soft and full and light it was. The 3 mice, who had trouble staying still when they slept, had a good idea. "Let's make it our own sleep sack." "Yes, let's!" And starting that night, not one of them stuck out of the covers. They all slept together, warm and snug until morning. Now they're using the mitten as a blanket. As time passed, though, each of the mice began wanting to sleep alone in the sack. It would feel so good to have the whole thing, and even better on the sunny top of the tree stump. They each tried to be the first to burrow inside, and they scuffled and struggled. They pulled so hard that when they let go, the mitten zoomed to the top of the bush. The mitten flew away. A pigeon spotted it and swooped down. "Doesn't this look airy and warm? I'll take it home for a blanket." Clasping it in her beak, the pigeon prepared to fly high, but then the bush shook as the long shadow shifted. "Oh no, a wolf!" The pigeon dropped the mitten and fled to the sky, the mittens falling down. But the shadow of a squirrel that had moved was no wolf. A squirrel came out from beneath the bush and stopped short. A fluffy red thing was floating down from the sky. "Ooh, is this a gift from the clouds?" The mitten was frayed and full of holes, but when the squirrel popped it on, it was like a pillowy sweater. "How lovely and comfy!" The squirrel immediately adored it. "Now it's a sweater." All this time, the left mitten was working with the new right mittens, warming and protecting the little one's hands. Together they made a big snowman and brushed the snow off the dog. With each touch of the pure white snow, the left mitten thought of the old right mitten. "I wonder if everything's all right." They had made tiny snowballs together. That mitten had helped pull the sled for the little one and pick up the red berries that fell in the snow. One day, the left mitten spied something red on a tree branch. It looked like a single red flower blooming in the snowy woods. On second look, it was the old right mitten. It was stretched, torn, unraveling, and a totally different shape. But there was no mistake. The right mitten saw the left mitten too. They get to see each other. Just then the squirrel came out and caressed the right mitten with its cheek. "Oh, it's dry. I can smell the sun. Spring is coming bit by bit." The squirrel held the mitten close, treasuring it. The squirrel loves the mitten. And there, in the warm sunlight, the two mittens passed each other, the right and the left, and now they were both very happy.
Oh, that was such a good book. I was so worried about the red mittens when they got separated. That one red mitten kept going home and get put by the fire and was nice and warm, but he really missed the other red mitten. And the other red mitten, what an adventure! Went with the rabbit and then with the mice and then with the squirrel. But the squirrel loved that red mitten, just like the little girl loved her red mittens. And then one day, the red mittens saw each other, and they saw that they were both happy, so they were happy for their friend. What a good book! I never thought about what would happen if my mittens got separated. I always try to keep them together because I want both my hands to be warm. But it's nice to know that even though the one got lost, it made a friend in the squirrel, and it made the squirrel so happy. That's all that really matters. Sometimes things get lost, but maybe somebody will find it and it'll make them really happy. You have to think about that if you lose something. I hope you won't lose something, but if you do, realize maybe somebody will find it and be really happy with it, and everything will be okay. You think about that the next time you lose something. But the next time you go out in the snow, put on your mittens, keep them close, keep your hands warm, and try to remember to take both of them back inside. And whatever mom and dad say, put your mittens on, take your mittens off, put your coat on, take your coat off. You know what to do. Mom and dad know best. Obey, and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy, because I'm going to be sitting right here ready to read another book to you. Bye!
Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.